The Thanksgiving the Jack's Built, written by Vera Orton Baker, illustrated by Tad Butler. This is the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the family that ate the Thanksgiving Jack's built. This is the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the father in the chef's hat who helped the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. The grocer who lives in the town, who waited on the fathers in a chef's hat, who helped the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is a truck whose tires are worn down that supplied the grocer who lives in the town, who waited on father in a chef's hat, who helped the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the farmer, all smiles and no frown, who loaded the truck with tires worn down that supplied the grocer who lives in the town, who waited on the fathers in the chef's hat, who helped the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the boy with scratch-up knees who watched a farmer, all smile no frown, who loaded the truck with tires worn down that supplied the grocer who lives in town, who waited on fathers in the chef house, who helped the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. There's a dog as proud as you please that follows the boy with the scratch-up knees, who watched the farmer, all smiles no frown, who loaded the truck with tires worn down that supplied the grocer who lives in the town, who waited on fathers in the chef's hat, who helped the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built.
Good job.
The Thanksgiving the other Jack's built, written by Vera Ogden Baker, illustrated by Tad Butler. This is the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the father in the chef's hat, who helped the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the grocer who lives in the town, who waited on father in the chef's hat, who helped the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the truck with tires worn down that supplies the grocer who lives in the town, who waited on the father in the chef's hat, who helped the mother, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is the farmer, all smiles and no frown, who loaded the truck with tires worn down that supplied the grocer who lives in the town, who waited on father in the chef's hat, who helped the mother, whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey all stuffed and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack's built. This is a boy with scratch-up knees who watched the farmer, all smiles and no frown, who loaded the truck with tires worn down that supplied the grocer who lives in the town, who waited on father in the shop's house, who helped the mother whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey and all stuff and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the jug spilled. Did the dog as proud as you please that followed the boy with the scratch-up knees, who watched the farmer and all smiles and no frown, who loaded the truck with tires worn down, that surprised the grocer who lives in the town, who waited on the father in the chef's hat, who helped the mother whose name is Pat, who cooked the turkey, all stuff and fat that fed the family that ate the Thanksgiving the Jack spilled. Why I'm Late Today, written by Torrin Anderson, illustrated by Phong Cano. I rushed into the school office. Sorry I'm late. I was having breakfast with the Norbotians. I said, who are the Norbotians? Miss Gage asked. The aliens, wild creatures on Norbot. I explained. They're really very nice. I added. Mrs. Gage shook her head. You have breakfast with aliens? She asked. They invited us. I felt bad after I did a belly flop into their swimming pool. I said, why did they feel bad? She asked. Because I was filled in green slime. I said, they love to swim in green slime, but of course there are no oceans. I said, I see. Well, why did you jump in if it was filled with green slime? Mrs. Gage asked. Oh, I didn't jump. I flew into it when Teresa pushed the red button. It said eject. I explained. Mr. Gage snorted. I suppose this eject button was inside your spaceship? She asked. That's right. The eject button is only for emergencies, I said. Teresa freaked out. Though when the motions came to say hello, I explained. I thought you said they were nice, said Miss Gate. They were very nice. It's not their fault they look like they do, I replied. And they came to say hello because, she said, a spaceship doesn't land in their backyard every day. I said, what are you doing in the spaceship, Mr. Gage? Mrs. Gage asked. How else would you get to Norbot? I replied. But where did you get this spaceship? Mr. Gage asked. Teresa built it in her backyard. I said. Where is the spaceship now? Mr. Gage asked. It's out on the grass. I had to either land there or on the school roof. I said. So where's Teresa? Mrs. Gage asked. She is going to school on Norbot today. I said, we are doing a student exchange. I explained. Mrs. Gage looked at me and laughed. That was the strangest excuse I ever heard. Then Miss Gage jumped up and spilled her coffee. Your backpack is alive, she screamed. Oh, that's not my backpack, I said. I smiled and waved at Mrs. Gage, so did Norby. Mrs. Gage waved back. Welcome to Earth, she said. Writing with Rosa Parks, written by Ellen Forrest, illustrated by Chris Baldwin. On the bus. Marissa and her mother were riding on the bus. They were on their way to Grandma's house. They had to sit in the back seats. Marissa didn't like the back seats. There was a law that black people had to sit at the back of the bus. Her mother said it was unfair. Some white people came on the bus. Some of the black people had to stand and give them their seats. That was another part of the law. refusing to stand. But one black woman didn't stand up. Her name was Rosa Parks. She didn't want to move from her seat. The driver told Rosa she had to move, but she said no. The driver called the police. The police came and arrested Rosa Parks. Marissa wondered what would happen next. She thought about how brave Rosa Parks had been. Everybody knew the law, even if it wasn't unfair. Taking steps. When the other people heard what happened to Rosa, they got very upset. They decided to stop riding the city buses. Marissa asked her mom why they had to walk. Her mom says people stopped riding the buses to show that the law was unfair. For a long time, they walked everywhere. Marissa's legs were sometimes very tired. Still, they didn't ride the bus, making a difference. Finally, an amazing thing happened. The law was changed. Marissa and her mom could now sit at the front of the bus. They didn't have to stand and give their seats to white people. Marissa learned that one person could make a difference. She learned about people could join together to change things. Today, Rosa Parks is a hero because she had no to something that was unfair. She made the law in the United States change. Many other people have followed Rosa's example. They keep working to make sure people of all colors have the same rights. Picture Day, written by Jules Sherman, illustrated by Marcus Cutler. Poppy's picture prep. Poppy smiled at herself in the mirror. She was trying on her new dress for picture day tomorrow. It looked perfect. It was important. Her picture would be in the yearbook forever. In the kitchen, Poppy took a cup of punch from her mom. Her mom said, "Be careful, don't spill it." Seconds later, Poppy spilled it down the front of her dress. Poppy glanced down at the stain. She couldn't go to a picture day like this. "I'll wash it," her mom said. "Now, get changed. We're going to the eye doctor." Picture framed. At Dr. Chan's office, Poppy worried about her dress. Suddenly, she heard Dr. Chan say, "We have your glass ready tomorrow afternoon." Poppy hung her head. She didn't want glasses. At least she wouldn't have to wear them for picture day. The big day. The next morning, Poppy grabbed her dress from laundry basket. "Oh no," she cried. "My dress shrank." She ran to get an older dress. At least she had her necklace. As she put it on, something went snap. Beads from her broken necklace fell to the floor. What else could go wrong today? Poppy's mom called upstairs. "Hurry, Dr. Chan's office just called. Your glasses are ready early." Picture perfect. Waiting for the other second graders. Poppy fused with her glasses. She hoped her class's turn would never come. Beside her, Radu complained, "You're lucky your parents didn't make you get a haircut. I think you can still smile," Leah said. Leah had few missing teeth. Rosie had a bandage across her nose. Even Tom was in a cast. "I guess we all have something we don't like about our looks," Poppy said. "None of us is perfect," she added. "You're up, second graders," the photographer called. Poppy thought about taking off her glasses. Then the photographer whispered, "Nice glasses." Poppy saw her wink from behind her own red glasses. Poppy smiled and looked at her classmates. They couldn't take off a bad haircut or hide a broken arm. They all had their differences, she realized. That's what makes them special. She slapped her glasses on. Cheese, the class called out. The photographer snapped the picture. Perfect, she said. Picture day hadn't gone the day Poppy had planned. It had gone even better.